I wish I could go back in time to my 20-year-old self and just not get a car if I couldn't pay the whole amount just cash.
I bought a house, it made me broke, and I'm talking about all of the expenses that ended up making me broke because it's not what you think it is.
Hi there, I'm 32 with 5-figure credit card debt. I took a month-long European vacation. And then when I came back, I quit my job with no plan.
Today, we're watching people who are living above their means and talking about the regrets that come with it. We're talking maxed out credit cards, student loans that never seem to shrink, car payments that cost more than rent, and more. First up, we're looking at student loans. And the question a lot of people are asking now, is college actually a scam?
Every year now for 3.5 years, I've been paying towards my student loans, and I still have over $31,000 left to pay off. So I figured I would do a little breakdown in this video just to be like money transparent, and also talk about how unless you go to college for a specific degree, for a specific career, college is a scam. But that's just like my personal opinion, coming from someone who believes education is very important. I think that college is a scam. Anyway, I started with $35,500 in student loans, and I have paid over $12,000 towards them in the last 3.5 years. Now, I've just been paying like whatever payment plan they put me on. To be honest, I need to look into it more and figure out a better way, which is why I'm doing this breakdown, to just kind of hold myself more accountable. I'm really trying to become as financially responsible in my life as I can be. But yeah, I paid over $12,000, and only $3,700 of that has gone towards the principal. So around $8,300 has been interest, and that's just like, those are wild numbers to look at. I'm looking at like some of my specific loans because these are through like the federal loans. I started with one that was like $2,000, and even though I've been paying on it for 3.5 years, it's still at $1,937. So I've only paid $63 off it in 3.5 years, and those are just like wild numbers to look at. Now, granted, I have been throwing money at other loans with higher interest rates, like our car loan and our mortgage, and that's why these loans are really sitting untouched aside from like my minimum monthly payment, because the interest rates are really low in comparison to other loans that we have in our life. But it's like gut-wrenching. It's a hard pill to swallow when you really break down these numbers and look at them. And it definitely gave me a good goal to like go forward and really try to get these off, because the interest, like, it's just really hard when you realize how much interest you're paying on these loans. But college is a scam, that's it.
Okay, props to her for tackling the highest interest rate debt first, but paying $8,000 in interest on a $12,000 loan over 3.5 years, that is such a steep opportunity cost. Think about what that money could have done instead. A simple index fund, a business you could have started. It's honestly hard to think about. This is exactly why, before you commit to college, you need to do the research. Lock in a profitable career path and the right degree for it. Because nothing is worse than spending years and thousands of dollars on a degree you'll be paying off for the rest of your life with no real job opportunities to show for it. Speaking of expensive decisions, next up is someone who regrets buying a Tesla.
Not gonna lie, the biggest regret I have right now in life is having a car payment. I wish I could go back in time to my 20-year-old self and just not get a car if I couldn't pay the whole amount just cash, because it's such a waste of money. I have a Tesla. I love like the features of my car, but it's not worth $774 a month that I pay for. I just paid for my tags. So on top of paying for my monthly car payment, I had to pay for the tags, which was $780. That is just like ridiculous. And sometimes when I'm laying down at night and I really put things into perspective, I'm just like, when I die one day, I'm not gonna have that car sitting in that grave with me. Like, all of that money to waste just for one day, it to not even be mine anymore. I do not need to spend that much money on a stupid car. Now that I'm older, I feel like cars are the biggest waste of money. I really want to like low-key get rid of my car and just buy a car cash, and like, I just don't care anymore to have a car payment. I hate it so much. If you're looking to get a car, honestly, if you can't pay it cash, then don't get a car. It's not worth it. I promise it's not worth it.
Rule 1, don't buy a car the same year it's released. If you're buying any car, buy it used. You save on interest, and someone else already ate the depreciation hit. A car loses value the second it leaves the lot and keeps dropping every year after. Only luxury cars ever buck that trend. But here's the catch. In America, you basically need a car to function, so waiting to pay cash could actually cost you your job. So here's the real takeaway. If you can't pay cash, buy used. It'll hurt a lot less. A car loses value the second it leaves the lot and keeps dropping every year after. Only luxury cars ever buck that trend. Next up, someone who went into debt for a European vacation.
Hi there, I'm 32 with 5-figure credit card debt. I took a month-long European vacation a month and a half ago, and then when I came back, I quit my job with no plan. Gabby, why did you quit your job? Can't really talk about it, but like I had to. I had to get out of there. Anyway, I want to let you know what I've been doing to survive. First of all, I compartmentalized the debt. Once my credit gets a little bit better, I'm gonna do one of those like consolidation situations, and I know it's gonna be fine. I know it's gonna be taken care of. I'm just paying my credit cards off the way that I normally would. Then took inventory around my house of what furniture did I hate, and I put that on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, today I made $200 off of a magazine rack that I really didn't give a about. Facebook Marketplace is like the quickest money. Then I took a picture of every single item of clothing that I haven't worn in a year. I put it on eBay because that is the easiest platform, I think, to list something. Last week I made $800 selling my old clothes. Then on top of that, because I used to freelance, I reached out to every client I've ever had, and I've been given small projects to do here and there. Everybody gets put in tight spots sometimes. That's just where I'm sitting right now.
Okay, this one genuinely annoys me. I really hope this is rage bait because a 5-figure credit card balance is nothing to take lightly. I'm not assuming anything, but I hope there's a safety net she isn't mentioning in this video. Rich parents, a big savings cushion, someone else covering her, or another income stream she haven't mentioned yet. Either way, if you're carrying real debt and you have a stable job, don't quit it without something better already lined up. Have a plan, especially when you're sitting on $10,000 or more in debt. As you can tell, she was struggling to make ends meet. Respect for the hustle, though. But it's not worth going into debt for any vacation. Vacations are earned, not a necessity. Next, a woman walking us through the unexpected expenses that hit right after she bought her house.
If you're new here, I bought a house, it made me broke, and I'm talking about all of the expenses that ended up making me broke because it's not what you think it is. So within about a year and a half after the house purchase, I ended up paying about $53,000 of expenses to miscellaneous things. As I said in that earlier video, I had a fully funded emergency fund. I purchased a house that was well below, like $200,000 below what I was approved for. Well, the problem is that issue was just a back automatic gate fence, and the contractor that was working on that ran away with my money. I had given him $6,000. So that sucks, and the job isn't done. I have to hire a new contractor. That ended up costing an additional $8,000. I also had to repair my hot water heater. That was about $1,600. Again, home related. Every other expense I incurred was unrelated to me buying this house. I ended up getting very, very sick and needed surgery. That was $10,000. I ended up getting bed bugs. Again, unrelated to buying the house, but it happened. $10,000. So are you getting the theme here? It's just like random life events that is unrelated to purchasing this house that ended up tanking me. So if I have any advice, I would say save way more than you think you should. Like double your emergency fund, which sounds ridiculous, but I ended up draining my emergency fund. It is now back to about 3.5, 4 months worth of expenses in there. So I've rebounded, thank goodness, and I'm in a better financial spot. But that first year and a half was insane.
You can tell she's just trying to get ahead in life, and she's hit real setbacks along the way. She's handling it well, and this is a good example of watching an emergency fund actually get used. She's not regretting the house itself, but the added expenses definitely raised her stress level. Getting scammed, unexpected surgery, and everything else that came out of nowhere. The lesson here, as your assets grow, your emergency fund needs to grow right along with them. This next one is a little different. A woman opening up about the regrets she has sentimentally about her wedding.
If you're on the fence about having a big wedding versus a small, more intimate wedding, let me de-influence you for a minute. So I'm coming up on my 4th year of marriage, and we did the big wedding. Here's a picture of us in front of our venue. The wedding really didn't cost too much. We had $20K. And we made it work with $20K. But the money really wasn't the reason for why I would not do a big wedding. Number one, it instantly turns into a production rather than feeling like an intimate moment. So I'd rather do it with 10 people that I actually talk to and see on a regular basis rather than 100 people that I never talk to or never see on a regular basis. So that leads into number 2. The moment that you have a production type wedding like that, people get entitled. I had people trying to tell me where to place them to sit because of where they felt they belonged in my life. And then I had people upset because they couldn't have kids at a no kids wedding. Then there's bridal party members who made choosing dresses extremely difficult for no reason. But when you're planning a wedding, like all of those things come dead last. Like, you have so much going on in your brain. All you're looking for is help. And everybody is looking at you to do things for them without lending a hand to help you get the day done.
What's supposed to be a special day turns into a checklist for people you barely see once a month. That is exactly why eloping has gotten so popular. It's a real, meaningful way to commit without all the extra baggage. Like she said, the money wasn't really the issue. It was something she could afford. The value just wasn't there for what was supposed to be a day about her and her partner. Now for something a little more uplifting. Someone who actually paid off a huge chunk of debt and got their footing back.
I just did something that I have been trying to do for years and have only been able to do now with the income that I make as a creator and am making as a creator. I just paid off 100% of my credit card debt, all of my credit card debt, all on my own. I've been paying the minimum on my credit cards for a really long time, including when I was an assistant and I was salaried. Mind you, I only had like $5,000 in credit card debt between two credit cards in full transparency, but I just paid off all of it for the first time in years. I opened these credit cards in college. I cannot tell you what this moment feels like to be able to do that. I just want to validate for anyone who's out there cranking out content or putting themselves out there that these moments can happen for you. I'm trying to be better all around financially with my finances now that I'm bringing in more money than I did even when I was salaried and I was an assistant, and it feels incredible.
If you got stubborn debt, you have to put in extra work to pay it off. It's that simple. Tyler did exactly that, and it paid off for him in a big way. Becoming an influencer and landing brand deals was a calculated investment for him, a real example of building income streams that scale. With a little discipline, you can reach your next financial milestone too. But just think about what skill is actually worth putting your time into, whether that gets you an emergency fund or just finally paying off that debt. If this one hit home, go ahead and subscribe to Quiet Money Grows. Until next time, I'll see you later.